Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do. It's going to be a full face first impressions, and I'm actually going to be using everything from the Shop Miss A website. So if you haven't heard of Shop Miss A, I've seen a bunch of people do these types of videos and they're really interesting to me because everything that I'm going to be using on my face today is only $1. Which is pretty exciting. So I'll definitely have the website linked down below. This is not a sponsored video. Shop Miss A did actually reach out to me and asked if they could send me a few products, and I said that I was definitely interested in that. And so when I got my box, I thought it would be fun to do kind of like a full face first impressions. So I didn't have to make this video. Again, it's not sponsored, but the products were gifted to me from the website to try out. And again, I just thought it would be fun to do some first impressions on camera. So that is what we are doing today. Again, like I said, I'll have the website linked down below. I would love to know if you guys have tried anything from this website. I've had a lot of you recommend a few products to me that I tried to pick up for this video. So I'm really excited to show you how I got this look and kind of my first thoughts on all of these products. But if you're interested in trying out some Shop Miss A products with me today, let me go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my face. So I have this from the AOA Studio, the Wonder Skin Poreless Primer. So it just says it helps minimize the appearance of pores and fine lines and leaves a smooth canvas for long-lasting makeup. So I actually kind of thought this would feel a little bit more on the silicone side, but it really doesn't. It just feels kind of like a water, but like gel at the same time. You know, that gel water. Okay, so I have the BB cream from the AOA Studio. I have it in light and also medium. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try the medium first. I'm just gonna put a little bit, it's just another squeeze tube. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand just to kind of test the color. I might mix it with the light. Let me try the light and see what that looks like. It actually feels a lot thicker than I was expecting for a BB cream. So we have medium and then light. See, the medium is a little bit more yellow, which I'm kind of worried about. So I might actually just kind of mix these two together and see what we get. The thing that I was most excited to grab from this haul, and one thing that I've been wanting to pick up from Shop Miss A myself, is their sponges. I've heard a lot of people really recommend these, and especially for being $1, that's pretty awesome. So I pulled out this one. I did end up grabbing a few just because they're makeup sponges. I don't really mind having a bunch of sponges around because you have to clean them so often, so it's kind of nice having quite a bit. And this is kind of my favorite style for the sponge. So this is the one that I'm going to use today, so I'm pretty excited about this. Normally when it says BB cream, I usually apply with just like my fingers, but like I said, this is actually a little bit thicker and I just really want to use this one anyways. So I'm just going to put a little bit of light and a little bit of medium onto the sponge and just kind of mix it together that way. Right off the bat, I don't know if I'm going to love the sponge. I noticed when I was getting it wet that it just feels a little bit more firm than I tend to go for. I like a little bit more of a softer sponge. So this one, it still feels a little bit hard as I'm applying the BB cream. I'm going to add just a little bit more of both of those shades to get a little bit more coverage in here. I'll say right off the bat, I don't know if I noticed a ton with the primer either. I have some pretty large pores, especially on this side of my face, and they look pretty much exactly the same as what they did before I applied that primer. So not sure I noticed that part with the primer, but you know, of course, this is just my first impressions on everything. I'll try everything out and I'll come back and give a follow-up video on all of these products. So I don't mind the BB cream. You definitely get, you know, a lighter coverage, which is pretty standard with the BB cream. And even though it felt thicker when I was kind of applying it to see the shade, I thought it was pretty easy to blend out with the sponge. Definitely can still, you know, see some imperfections and such, which usually I get that with a BB cream. But I like the finish of it. It has a hint of like more dewiness to it, which I kind of enjoy. Again, my pores just seem really enlarged on both sides, so I wish the primer would have done a little bit something for that. But so far for the BB cream, I don't mind them. They could be a nice option for the warmer months when I kind of cut back on how much product I wear on my skin. The concealer was actually sold out, which I was kind of bummed about because I think I've heard good things about the concealer. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my Too Faced Born This Way concealer and add this and then apply it with the sponge. If you guys missed my video yesterday that went up, it was an updated makeup that has been dethroned video. I've done one in the past, and I did another one yesterday, and it was actually a collab with Emily Noel, and I'm filming this on Thursday, so I'm reading the comments, and your comments are so nice, and it was a really fun to collab with her and just chat with her a little bit more behind the scenes and everything. She's seriously such a nice person, and it just was really awesome. So if you guys missed that video, I definitely recommend checking them out, both mine and Emily's, because hers was really good. I was really excited to see her pics and what she was gonna say, and there was a few of them that I felt like I knew, and then there were some of them that I was like, oh yeah, like she just had so many good pics in there. I really enjoyed watching her video. So yeah, that was such a fun one to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out this Too Faced concealer. I'm gonna try some of the other sponges that I picked up in this haul, because I don't know if this is the one that people are saying that they really enjoy, because it is just so firm on my skin. I'm not really enjoying it off the bat, which I'm bummed about, because this was like it sounds weird, but this was like the one thing I was like most excited about in my haul was the sponge. But I picked up a few others, so I'll try them. But if you guys have a favorite sponge that you've gotten from Shop Miss A, do let me know what it was. I picked up the Perfect Setting Powder from the AOA Studios. I think majority of everything is from there, because those were $1, and I really wanted this to be $1. And this is the Brightening Powder, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit with my sponge as well to my under eyes. I just kind of poke some holes in here with my tweezers to try to get some product out, but sometimes these are just so hard. I'm just kind of tipping it over and trying to shake it out the best I can. So I'm getting a little bit actually in the cap here. Off the bat, I don't think I mind the powder. I think that it kind of helped smooth out the under eye. So I have powder on this side and no powder on this side, and I think that you can see actually a difference with the powder. I don't know if I noticed anything brightening though. It almost looks like a little bit more mattifying on this side, so I don't know if I see the brightening. And sometimes I really do like brightening powders for my under eyes, like the one from Lawless Beauty. I really like that one. So I was kind of wondering if maybe this one could be a little bit similar, but I don't notice a ton of a brightening effect, but I still like it. I still like that it makes my under eyes look smoother. So because I don't notice that it's brightening, I am actually going to apply it to kind of like the center of my face also, where I place the concealer. Normally I wouldn't do this with a brightening powder because I don't want these areas to necessarily be like brighter. I generally just do a brightening powder on my under eyes, but because I'm not noticing that, at least not off the bat, I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of my concealer with that powder. I do feel like the powder kind of helped smooth out my pores just a little bit, like just a tiny bit, but I still feel like those are looking kind of large. But yeah, I feel like it definitely took away like some of the shine, some of the dewiness from the BB cream. So that's interesting. Like I like it, and I like the effect of it. It's just kind of like, to me, it's like the opposite of what I thought it was going to do, but that's okay. So I totally blanked that I have a cream contour stick. Normally I wouldn't do powder when I'm doing a cream contour stick, and I initially was just thinking I was going to be doing my under eyes with this and not the rest of my face, but I really just did kind of the center with the powder, so hopefully we'll still be okay to do this cream contour, because I still really do want to try this one out. So again, this is from the AOA Studios. This is the Sculpt Fix contour stick, and I got mine in the shade Fawn, so we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope that this goes okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that to contour out the cheekbones. So one thing I'll say is that like the products that I've used so far, I'm just gonna start here and blend out and see what we think. You know, they're $1, but I haven't really felt like, oh, you know, like that packaging isn't great or that packaging isn't great. Contour stick is kind of the first one that I'm like, oh, it does feel like a little bit like cheap packaging on this end. Like it almost feels like it's not fully set, like the stick is actually like wiggling around in there and kind of makes noises when I was applying it. That's the first one that I've kind of noticed, like, oh yeah, like I would believe this is $1, but like the BB creams and the setting powder, like those all seemed, you know, fine to me. Not obviously the most like luxurious packaging by any means, but like it was fine. Okay, so I think I have like a bit of a soft contour going on right here. I'm actually going to add just a little bit more because I do like to contour, so just a little bit more. But I felt like it was pretty easy to blend out also, again with the damp sponge. I'm not really noticing any issues blending it out, and I feel like it looks pretty natural on the skin, so not minding that contour shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and contour my forehead and blend out the hairline also. So this might be a good option for just like kind of a light cream contour. So the shade Fawn, I think it looks pretty good on me. I like that it's pretty easy to blend, but I'm a little bit like, I'm not sure if it's totally just like blending away. I kind of had to like build up, but like, I don't know, I think I can see the contour on my cheeks pretty well. So far so like pretty good with this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and add just a little bit more to the forehead. I do like this shade, and I think that it's a nice contour shade because it's a little bit more cool toned also. I don't have a bronzer, so I'm just going to use my Milani. This was also mentioned in yesterday's video as a product that's Dethroned, a different favorite bronzer. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this to add a bit of bronze to the skin. So for blush, I have this cute little one from the AOA Studio. This is, oh, I don't think it has a name. Oh no, it does. Delight. Delight is this name. So it kind of looks like a really nice peachy blush. So I'm just going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. Oh, you have to twist it open. I was trying to pop it up. You twist it off. Yes. That is what you do. I'm just going to go ahead and pop a little bit on here. I'm using my brushes from Rephr. I mentioned them recently in a video. And I really like this one for blush. This is the 05. I feel like it's just a really nice size. I think that looks like a pretty blush. I kind of have to build it just a little bit here just to get that kind of peachy tone. But it's a nice matte blush. I'm a little bit more into glowy blushes at the moment, but I still do enjoy a nice matte blush. I do not have a brow product, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my brows off camera, and then we will come back and start on the eyes. Okay, brows are done. I did them like super quick, so they're not the best brow you've ever seen in your life, but that's what it is. I'm going to go ahead and move over to eyes. So I grabbed out the eyeshadow primer. It just says the perfect eyeshadow primer from AOA Studio, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply this onto my eyelids, and then I'm just going to blend it out with my finger here. So I actually kind of like the eye primer right off the first bat. Like, it was easy to apply. It had a little bit of pigment in it, so it like kind of did a little bit of color correcting in there also, but it was still really easy to blend out, like still sheer, but it had a little like oomph in there, and it also feels just the slightest bit on the sticky side, the tacky side, which I kind of do like as well. So far so good for the eye primer. Then I'm going to come in with this long-lasting shadow stick. This is in the shade Matte Ginger. I was curious about these because I really like they're technically an eyeshadow base from Sigma. I really like those. So when I saw these, I kind of wondered if they would be somewhat similar. So I'm just going to go ahead and try this. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm not the best at this, but we're going to try something. So I'm first just going to kind of run it along the outer part of my eye and then my crease. It definitely does feel very matte. Like it feels just a little bit on the draggy side right now. And then I was kind of thinking of just leaving it on the outer part of the eye, but I'm just going to go ahead and fill in along the whole eye because I kind of really do like this shade, kind of like almost like a little terracotta vibe going with it. They did also send over this little brush set here, so I just grabbed out one of the smaller brushes that I could find. This one has a bit of an angle to it. It's the E138. I'm just going to see if I can kind of blend the shadow. And the brush is kind of shedding on my eyes there, but I'm just going to try to blend the edges here so they look a little bit more diffused. I really like the color it was just so matte that it's almost a little bit hard to blend also, but I think we're getting there. I like that shade. I think it looks pretty. I'm just gonna add in just a little bit more like on the lid because I liked how we kind of got it diffused a bit there with that brush. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. I'm just gonna apply it all over my eyelid and then blend it out. Okay, and then I had picked out an eyeshadow, but this is in Lucky Star, and it looks a little bit more on the purpley side. I don't know if it would really go with this ginger color. So I actually have this highlight as well that I thought was an eyeshadow, but this is a highlighter. This is in Lucky, wait, was that Lucky Star and Lucky? Guess I was trying to feel lucky that day. So I'm gonna add it as just kind of a topper, like right in the center of the eye, because I think this shade will go a little bit more, and it still looks really pretty. Ooh, this is very, very creamy. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it first, actually. It's a very creamy highlighter. Ooh, I'm kind of intrigued by this. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick up a little bit again on my finger and kind of pop that in the center. I don't know if it will. It says it's a velour highlighter. Okay, so hopefully this doesn't totally ruin it, but I just kind of want to see. Ooh, that's really cool. So I'm just popping it down with my finger first. And I think I'm going to grab the brush to kind of help, again, blend it and diffuse it a bit. But that kind of makes like a fun spotlight eye. I'm just grabbing that same brush. I'm just going to kind of tap along the edges here. I think that looks really cool. Like, it gives a really fun, like, wet effect to the look. Ooh, I'm liking this. I have a different highlighter picked out that I was going to try, but I'm definitely gonna try this as a highlighter as well. I like the way that looks though, pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing, and you need like a very little bit of product. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same on the other eye. I'm not really skilled when it comes to applying with my finger, but give it a shot here. Okay, I'm glad that I tried that. I'm glad I decided to make that switch because I like the shade, but I also just think it looks really cool on the eyes. So that works out pretty well. I'm just gonna go ahead and do some eyeliner and then probably just find a shadow and smudge a little bit on the lower lash line, just have a little something. Then we'll come back for mascara. So I just used a little bit of the Colourpop brown liner in my waterline, and then just use some shadows from my Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette, which is in my June Shop My Stash bag for my lower lash line, and then a little bit of the inner corner highlight. So I have the Fat Lash Mascara from AOA Studios. This is in black, so I'm going to go ahead try this out. So there's what the wand looks like. Okay, so I have one coat of mascara on over here, and I actually am really liking it. It definitely does a lot for lengthening and then also separating the lashes. I noticed that they look really nice and separated, so I'm liking it. I'm going to do a second coat. It doesn't really do anything for volumizing, which is kind of interesting to me because it's called Fat Lash. So my mind went straight to like getting really volumized fat lashes, but it's actually doing more for lengthening and separating. But I think that looks really nice. I like this mascara. I think that I'm really gonna get on with it. We'll see how it goes. A really big thing for me is like transferring, flaking, things like that. So we'll see how it wears throughout the day. Typically when I do first impressions, I'll leave some more thoughts in my pinned comments, so you can check that if you want to hear how it kind of wore for me throughout the day. But I think I like it. The wand is also nice and thin, so it's really easy to like get up right under the base of the lashes and really push the lashes up. So far so good with the Fat Lash. Okay, so my eyes are done. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the highlight. So this is the AOA Studio Perfect Pressed Highlighter. This is in the shade Tiara. So I'm just gonna do a swatch of this one. Feels nice and smooth. Okay, so here is the swatch of Tiara. It looks like a bit more of maybe a satiny highlight, but we will give it a shot here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some to my cheekbones. Ooh, that's really pretty. I like that. This is a really beaming highlight. Like for $1, Whoa. Oh, it's got like a little bit of like a purple pinky tone to it. A little bit of a vibe there. Ooh, I like this one. It is a little bit powdery. Like as I put my brush into it, it's a little bit on the powdery side, but not too bad. And I love how intense it is. I do enjoy a good beaming highlight. I will say because of my pores, like you can see every single pore, especially on the side of my face. Like, nope, I mean that side too. So I don't know if I think that primer actually did anything because I've been noticing them throughout, but especially when you put highlight on, if you have like enlarged pores, like they're really, it's highlighting it. So it's kind of the only downfall right there. Okay, so lastly, we just have to finish off with some lips. So I have a couple different options here. First, I'm going to go ahead and put on their Wonder Matte Liquid Lipstick. And this is in the shade Boujee. I didn't even realize I got that shade name. That's pretty funny. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply and hope that it goes with the look because it kind of looks a little bit more like purpley mauve, but we'll see here. It smells really good. It smells like candy right off the bat. What candy though? Now I just want candy. Applied nicely. We have the regular doe foot on it. It's a little bit sheer, so I had to build it up a few times to get like the full amount of pigment onto my lips, but looks nice, feels nice so far. It's a really pretty shade. I think that it goes well enough with the look. I think it'll be fine. But that is really pretty. It's just slightly sticky right now, but it's not too bad. It's not the worst, like the stickiest liquid lip that I've ever tried. I think that looks nice. Other than I just had to build it up a few times. I can definitely tell as it's drying, like it's starting to feel a little bit drier on my lips, but you know, I'll just kind of see how it goes. But I did also grab a lip gloss and I kind of want to try this too. This is the Diamond Lip Gloss in the shade Glitz. So I don't know if you'd be able to see on camera, but it's a little bit like glittery on the inside. I don't know, I might just like pop it on the center and see what it looks like, try it out. So let's see, that has the doe foot there as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it. That is, ooh, sheepy sparkly. I'm just going to take my finger and kind of blend it out because I don't want to add any more gloss. I'm just going to kind of try to blend it here. That one is very, very glittery. Like if you actually want a glittery gloss that shows up glittery, because sometimes glosses look like they have glitter on it, but then you kind of just get more of a shimmer. This one is like glittery. I will say though that I can't feel it on my lips. Like when I press my lips together, it doesn't feel like gritty or anything like that. So I appreciate that. But that definitely added a little bit of like an oomph to the look here. But other than that, that's actually going to wrap it up for today's video. My full face trying out the Shop Miss A website, the AOA Studio brand, everything for $1. I would love to know what you guys thought about this look, some of the products I've tried. What have you tried from the brand? Do let us know. Again, a big thank you to Shop Miss A for allowing me to choose out some products and test them out for this video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. What do you recommend from the website? What do you think about this look? Please let me know in the comments. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed today's video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in Sunday's video.